Welcome to this platform where the conversation of what you need to know or will need to know is kept flowing. I am Esther Nyonje, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Kenya Explained. The political climate is high. The government and the opposition are at loggerheads, chest thumping at the glare of the public. The opposition will not relent on its course of consecutive demonstrations on claims that there were electoral injustices. Now, the government of the day seemingly wants to show the opposition that we are unbowed. Now, only a visitor in Jerusalem will not know about the high cost of living and harsh economic times that we are facing at this moment. And as they say, fahali wawili wakipigana ni nyasi huumia. Now, to delve into this conversation of this analysis, I am joined by Kenya's most sought political analyst, Professor Herman Manyora. Karibu sana.
Asante Esther.
We've missed you in this show, sir.
Yes, we are here.
Umepotea sana?
Niko.
Okay.
Yeah, kuna mtu yuko kama mimi.
Asante sana kukuja leo.
Asante.
I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you, Esther.
Now you have the age and the wisdom
Yes.
to maybe take us to a historical journey of what is happening right now. And you know what's happening right now. Has this situation ever been seen in this new democratic era?
Of course, we have been here before. This is a familiar script. Elections in this country have always been fought, but not concluded peacefully without much contestation, except for 2002, when Kanu was swept out of power. The rest before that, the dawn of multipartyism, 1992, 1997, they all contested rigging, stolen elections. We made a number of laws and administrative changes to make sure the elections are free and fair. We fought in 2007, almost lost our country. We gave ourselves the new constitution, gave ourselves new institutions like Supreme Courts and the rest. But still, we are never quite clear about the winner. Now we've reached a very dangerous stage.
Very dangerous, I agree.
Where I think the other side now believes that you cannot win an election fairly in this country. That there are people who will ensure that the election will always go where they want it to go. Because in 2013 we thought the Supreme Court was around, but we know what happened. Mutunga didn't nullify the election when he should have. 2017 it was nullified, but what happened after that left us not wiser. And now this one, what has happened, I think now the Raila and the opposition side have come to the conclusion that you must try another approach. And that is what I'm calling dangerous for the country.
Now, are we having a repeat of what was to happen before the handshake at this point?
Yeah, we are where we were just before the handshake. And if the handshake hadn't happened, that's why I laugh at people who rubbish the handshake. Without the handshake, this country would have been divided down the middle. It was divided down the middle. The country could have collapsed. So the handshake happened and we saved ourselves from calamity, from disaster. I think that's where we are now. And I'm among the few people at that time who called upon Uhuru and Raila to put the country first. I'm not saying they listen to me, but I was there, I'm on record. I want to go on record again as saying we need that handshake today, perhaps more than ever before. Yeah.
Okay, now with the president's constant urge to Kenyans to observe tax payments, do you feel it's an honest point of view or more looks like a political witch hunt?
You see, the president, before he became president, when he was the other side as deputy president, opposition within the government, he said the previous government headed by Uhuru had hijacked institutions of state. And they were using these institutions, especially KRA and DCI and the DPP, to persecute their opponents. Now, the president himself now is at the top of this tax saga. So one would wonder, is that not also hijacking KRA? Yeah, because we have not heard from KRA. We have heard from him.
From him himself.
Yeah, so,
and the people around him.
Yeah, that's the danger of Yeah.
So you really feel it's a more of a political witch hunt?
Obviously, it's political. Because if somebody does not owes KRA, it's not you to say it's KRA. And the KRA should just tell us Uhuru should pay 800 billion shillings. And we tell Uhuru pay.
You have a good point there. Now, what is your general feeling about Right Honorable Raila Odinga? He's able to access government services, but at the same time also incite citizens against the government. What is your feeling about that?
Well, if you said he was inciting, I don't think he'll take it kindly. I think he's just using the provisions of the Constitution where citizens are sovereign. He's saying the citizen can demand what is theirs theirs by rights. If they have a government they wanted to put in place and somebody else has robbed them of that government. So he's just leading the citizens, having a conversation with the citizens with a view to getting what is rightfully theirs. So I don't think he will be seen to be inciting people. You and I know it means it's the same thing.
Okay. Now, in the words of W.E.B. Du Bois, he says, and I quote, "There can be no perfect democracy curtailed by color, race, or poverty, but which we accomplish all, even peace." Now, the government seems to be moving on with activities. That was the launch of the paperless cabinet yesterday. The junior secondary school project has kicked off, and there's the kicking off of the affordable housing projects and other projects, just to mention a few. Now, you've said that there must be a handshake to ensure cohesion in this country, because what is the long term and the quick fix to this situation that we are having in the country at this time? Now, as we move on with the conversation, please don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yes, you asked me about what we can do now and in future.
Yes, because it feels like we are thriving in chaos.
Yeah, chaos. In the interest of democracy and development, you need to fix your politics.
But there can be no perfect state of democracy.
There can be no perfect set of democracy, obvious. Democracy itself is even a farce. Many people have said there's nothing like democracy, it's just a joke. But you need to fix the politics. Then everything else will flow. If you don't get your politics right, there's nothing you'll get right. Why? You spend so much time fighting over very useless things instead of working in the interest of the country. And that's why I'm saying, where we have reached as a country, Ruto and Raila have to sit down. I'm not talking about handshake. They just have to sit down and agree on the way forward. Yes. Not one of them will have their way. No, it's not possible. Yes. Ruto will not have his way, Raila will not have his way. Yes. And Kenya will lose. Yes. Where it has reached. And you know, many people wait until you hit the wall, then you know the wall was there. Me, I'm seeing the wall. I'm seeing if the government remains headstrong, if the government remains obstinate and says we will not listen to these people are wasting their time. I've heard young men in the government side saying people demonstrate and then they go home. And then Raila says, mimi nimeondoka gari haina brake. Certainly, we will all lose. Because Raila has the capacity to take people to the streets. Yes. Government does not have the capacity to control the demonstrators. Sure. No government has that capacity anywhere in the world. Right. These policemen that we have and the army operate in a state where things are supposed to be okay. Citizens respect authority, But where citizens refuse to respect authority, the police are helpless. You get it? We must all agree we are submitting ourselves to the state and state organs, including the police. That's how it works. Because the government cannot turn its arms on its people. The government can only turn its arms on enemies, external enemies in a war. So you can't tell the army now shoot these people. Even the army will not do it. Even the police will not. So what happens? Ruto says he's not going to listen. Raila is not going to listen. Raila has the capacity to take people in the streets. Ruto doesn't have the capacity to control the people in the streets. Certainly there will be chaos. Definitely. The chaos will not benefit anybody. Not Raila, not Ruto, not the country. No Kenyan will benefit from the chaos. That's why I'm calling upon them this early to see this simple fact I'm seeing. The bravado from each side will not help the country.
And I don't know why. Is it because is it so hard for them to see at their point of view? Because anyone else can see that this kind of thing that is happening in the country is affecting the common mwananchi.
You know when you think you are tough and then people cheer you.
Yes.
Me, I'm tough. Me, I'm not like Uhuru. You think Kibaki was foolish to share his government with Raila? You think Uhuru was also foolish to go into the handshake? And you think Raila was foolish to let go his victory in 2007, which we all know he got? They look at the bigger picture and they say, the country is bigger than I. Yes. This is my victory, it has been stolen, but if I push in that direction, the country will lose. And this is my country, this is where my children are, my grandchildren in future, and therefore let me sacrifice. So it is a question of compromises. Anything in public is a question of compromises. Whenever there is more than one person, there will always be conflicts. A man and a wife, a man and the children, in a school, in a company, an organization, everywhere there are human beings, there is always conflict. So you always see how to manage conflict. You can't avoid conflict. You manage conflict. So in politics, there are ways and mechanisms of managing that conflict. In our context, managing that conflict goes up to the Supreme Court. And then people say, okay, fine. Let's wait for the next election. But now it has reached a point where people have gone beyond the Supreme Court. They have taken the conflict to the next level. They are not now operating within the confines of the strict constitution or the law. They are going outside. So when it reaches there, each of these leaders must pull back a bit. Say, hey, what are the likely consequences of this? And I have always suggested, in the recent past, I've suggested, Ruto should reach out to Raila. Doesn't show you are weak. You are the bigger brother because you are the president. Call him or look, even as, go incognito. Piga hodi kwa mzee Karen, mwambie mzee, mimi ni kijana wako, wapi chai? Mama, mimi nasikia nataka chai. Then Aida prepares tea and they take. Then he tells Raila, this thing will get ugly. None of us will lose. None of us will benefit. But I'm the president. You know, once I've been sworn in, I'm the president. It's like football. Once somebody has scored, even if it's from offside, it's a goal. So let's start talking. And I'm sure Raila will listen. Raila will listen to conversation that will end up introducing an electoral infrastructure that guarantees future elections will not be stolen. I'm sure he will listen to that and he will abandon all these rallies. Yeah.
Now, very wise words from the very wise Herman Manyora. And Raila and Ruto should sit down, not necessarily for a handshake, but to think of the future of this country and give us the right direction where we're supposed to go. This conversation could go on and on, but for today, subscribe to this channel to more of this content. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Until next time, thank you for supporting us and see you.